What up guys, Will here, also known as Will Keep It Real. Welcome back to another video, man. For today's video, we're talking about turning your pain into purpose. And so I know I've had a couple people question and ask me, how do you find your purpose in life? Or make a video on how you find your purpose. And for me personally, I found my purpose through my pain. And I think this can be applied to any pain we go through. I think a purpose can be applied to it. But first things first, everything I've been through in my past has led me to where I am today. You know, you can watch my rock bottom video and understand more, but basically at one point I hit rock bottom in life and I was able to turn that stage of my life into my purpose, which is now today helping others, providing value to others, helping people improve themselves, helping people develop self-love, self-respect, all those different things. But at one point, that was what I went through. And so I like to tell people that your purpose can really be something that you've overcome. You know, believe it or not, a lot of businesses in the world are based off of people having overcome a problem and then basically just teaching others how to overcome the problem just like they did. They're just teaching them their way. And so let's say I learned how to overcome any breakup I've been through. I now teach other people how to use what I've learned through going through my breakups, how they can overcome breakups. And so I'm saying that to say that sometimes the negatives you go through in life can push you towards you making a change within your life for the better, or you being determined to get a better result. So a lot of y'all are at a stage where you may not be in the best place in life. You may be struggling with confidence, you might be struggling with self-love, you may be struggling going through a breakup, you might be struggling to accept who you are as a person, accept your differences. And the possible difference between how you're approaching the situation and how I would approach the situation is that you're accepting it. You're accepting that as who you are. You're being upset about you being that way. Whereas me, I was in that state and I became determined to change that. I became determined to develop confidence because I saw how being unconfident, how it affected my life. I became determined to know how to be independent on my own because I saw what it was like to constantly be depending on others for my happiness and my peace. You might be struggling to accept your insecurities and all these different things about yourself, whereas I became determined to learn how to embrace my individuality, learn how to embrace the things that were different about myself and use it for a bigger and better purpose. And so what that's enabled me to do is to now teach people about confidence and now teach people and be essentially a reflection of what it's like to love yourself authentically, love the authentic version of yourself, have unlimited confidence regardless of what other people think. And that's not even saying that that's for a business or for concert or anything like that. It's just in the way I carry myself that it projects out onto others and people are able to observe that about me and essentially want to develop it within themselves. They say, dang, he has no problem being the person that he is. He has no problem being his true authentic self. And so now they're able to be like, okay, I want to develop that within myself. Okay, I want to learn to accept myself. I really shouldn't be insecure about this version of me because that's just what makes me unique. That's what makes me me. And you know, a big reason on why I am the way I am today is because I've seen the effect I can have on people from being a different type of person. And so I always tell people, I'm a man who has determined who I want to be. I don't follow after my dad. I don't follow after the worldly men and doing the things that they normally do, whether that's how they treat girls, how they just treat people in general. Like I'm a lot more positive towards people. I'm not a toxic person. I don't like playing games with people. I'm very honest with people. I try and help people as much as I can. And sometimes, yeah, that might affect me in a certain way, but I'm that way because I've also heard stories. I've heard stories from my mom. I've heard stories from my grandma of relationships they've been in where they might have experienced abuse in some way, shape, or form, whether that was just like physical abuse, emotional abuse. I've seen emotional abuse in certain relationships and stuff. And having seen those, I had to ask myself the question, who do I want to be? And having felt those situations, like imagine someone telling you an experience they've been through and you have to essentially play that in your head. Imagine your mom telling you that, like, hey, she went through this type of abuse or something like that, and you having to picture that in your head. Then you really have to sit there and question yourself, like, who do you really want to be? Do you want to follow after how all these other men are living their lives, regardless of if that gets you the most results that you might be looking for, regardless of if being a toxic person gets you the most girls, regardless of if being a toxic person attracts a lot more people to you and gives you this big ego, whatever the benefits are? is that really worth it if you truly see the impact that you'll leave on other people's lives? Like, do you want to be the root cause of certain people's traumas? Do you want to be remembered for how you treated people poorly, regardless of if it got you sex, regardless of what it got you? Do you want to be remembered for that? And so I asked myself that question: who do I want to be? Regardless of what the world has normalized, regardless of what the world tells you to be, who do you want to be? Like, I felt that pain of knowing that, dang, I would be the root cause of somebody else's trauma. And I said, I don't want to be that person. I want to be a person that gives people positivity, that people feel loved around, people feel they can be their true authentic selves around. And regardless of if that lessens the amount of women I get, or the amount of people that truly like me, or the amount of people who might agree with the way I live my life, I don't care, because that's the type of purpose I want to have in this world. That's the type of impact I want to leave on people's lives. That's the mark I want to leave on people's lives. That's why I want to be remembered for. So my point in saying that is that painful situation, having been told those stories and having gone through other certain experiences, it almost creates a drive within you to make a change. It almost creates a drive within you to change the narrative and change the purpose that you have in this world. And so essentially, all the negatives you receive in life, you can apply a purpose to, as to what you want to turn it into. And so sometimes you're going to be faced with the pain of failure, the pain of making a mistake, the pain of taking on a loss, and it's going to essentially inspire you to change that narrative. Like, I look at my failures, I look at my losses, I look at my mistakes, and I ask myself, is that a reflection of who I am? Like, this failure doesn't represent who I am. It doesn't represent who I want to be. It's like saying I get an F on a math test, and that's like saying, oh, I'm just going to accept that. No, I don't want to be reflected as a failure. I don't want the reflection of who I am, or that result to represent who I am. Like, I know I'm capable of more. I know I have more value and more to offer to the world. I know I'm capable of achieving bigger and better results. And so when I'm faced with a mistake, or I'm faced with a failure, or I'm faced with a loss, it inspires me to go out and get the results I want. Regardless of the pain that it inflicts in me, it almost becomes a drive. It almost creates an anger within me, a fire within me to go out and do better for myself. It makes me go out and get the knowledge. It makes me go out and get the skills. It makes me basically not quit on myself, and be determined and develop a level of resilience to keep showing up, knowing that I'm capable of doing better, knowing that that doesn't represent the full capabilities of myself. Like, sometimes the pain or the results you're going through has to be the originator of your own motivation. Like, it has to create a motivation within yourself to go out and do better for yourself. So a lot of y'all might be in situations where you're not in the best living situation, you're not in the best friendship situation, the best relationships, and it should almost create a drive within you to say, I know I'm capable of more. I want to go out and get more for myself. And it almost creates a fire and a spark within you to say, okay, I'm really about to lock in. I'm really about to start taking my life seriously, because my current results, my current situation, my current living situation, my current financial situation doesn't represent what I'm really capable of. I know I'm capable of achieving way more. I know I'm capable of doing more for myself. And when you really see your painful situations and say, okay, I'm going to use this as my motivation. I'm going to apply a purpose to this and say, hey, this is essential for me to see in order for me to finally realize I need to lock in. I'm glad I'm going through this painful situation, because it's making me realize I need to develop self-love. I need to start taking life more serious. I need to start putting in my full effort in my days. And then you're going to essentially take everything you went through and be able to apply it to others, or be able to project it on to others. Like, I've been through my own healing journey. I've been through my own mindset journey, where now I want to help others, because I know what it's like to be at rock bottom. I know what it's like to not have your mental health under control. I know what it's like to be at a point where you have no idea what direction you're going in life. I know what it's like to feel like a failure, feel like you're wasting your life. And so now I try and inspire others, and I try and take everything I've been through and apply a purpose to it to be able to help others get through those exact situations I was once in. But I'm telling you, if you learn how to turn your pain into a motivation and turn it into a purpose, instead of just accepting it as is, oh, you're going to unlock so much power. You're going to see yourself push through limitations that people tried to put on you. You're going to see yourself become more than you ever envisioned, and realize that you're really capable of so much in this world if you truly apply yourself and truly become determined to make a change and not accept your life as is. But yeah, man, I appreciate you guys for tuning into the video. Hopefully you learned a thing or two. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on the post and notice. Join up on the Discord. That's going to be in the description. I'll catch you guys next video. Peace.